What's going on, guys? Eric here from Leviathan Gaming, and this is 2017 Ultra HD Remix Beatdown. I am Killer Fox, aka Eric.
I can't wait to play that game. Wait, what?
With me is Maddie C.
What's up?
And Delaney.
What's
What's going on?
What's up?
So, 2017 Ultra HD Remix Beatdown, where we're going to be talking about the great games of last year. Because guess what? It is 2018. Nothing's really come out yet. That's me looking at my watch. I don't see any games coming out yet.
We got about a week and a half when they start dropping the hits,
Dropping them hits. Just like.
the extreme beatdowns.
Exactly. That's why this is Ultra HD Remix Beatdown Arcade.
Yeah. Yep. So
I just added arcade at the end there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Retro.
retro arcade version.
You know, we're getting all Street Fighter up in this.
Oh, dang it, I
We're
just
going to be naming this like some
Belching up some
crazy
fish.
Capcom
Dude.
stuff.
belching up
Oh, yeah.
I'm fish again.
Yeah, we're still reacting to our treat box videos, which you guys will probably see before this video. So, yeah, that's why we got like a whole bunch of random treats on here, because we just did 2 boxes worth of stuff. So we're still feeling it. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I'm now feeling it now, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. So we're back, and we're actually going to be doing a podcast for the first time in a while.
Oh my
I don't even know how to
gosh.
do one of these anymore.
Like, it has been... I think our last... The last videos we did were our E3 thoughts. Like,
Yeah,
back at
I
the
think
end
it
of
was.
June, or back in June.
Just
And
a
then
lot of stuff happened. I
lot
got a
of-
new job that beat my butt. You got...
Okay. 2017, real quick summary for you. Since we've filmed last, I have moved about a half hour to 40 minutes from here. I'm engaged, and I
Yeah.
have a new job in upper management. So, life
It's
has
been-
been a roller coaster for me this year. So,
Been
yeah.
crazy.
But we're trying to get our bearings back and record and
And we're going to talk about some of the games that we
eat
played.
weird treats and talk about all the
Yeah.
awesome stuff
I'm
we
still
played.
snacking.
And she's still eating. Which one are you eating? Oh, the one that smells nasty.
It smells bad, but it tastes very good.
Close that
The
back.
prawn.
No, you're just gonna take it in.
Whoosh.
Take it in.
Take that smell in. That prawn
Ooh,
from
oh.
District 9.
The squid in the
Oh
in
no,
the-
is it
in
gonna
the
turn me
shrimp.
into a prawn like
Yeah.
the guy at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Have
Are
you
they
seen that
making
movie?
another one?
They
Thank
were
you.
supposed
Spoiler
to,
alert.
and it didn't happen. Oh, have you never seen the movie?
I have never seen it.
What?
Oh, I'm
I really haven't.
so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
She was never going to see that
I,
movie.
I
Still watch
forgot
it.
about it. I'm just
It's
saying.
super good movie. You should still watch it. From the director of Lord of the Rings, right? No.
No.
I don't know why I thought that. Oh, you know why I thought that? Because he was in talks to do the sequel.
Yeah. For the director of Lord of the Rings. Stars nothing.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, so life's
So-
been crazy. So we're gonna do. I'm OG, you know, OG.
Yeah, we don't have
pen and notebook
tablets.
paper. We're not real fancy here. I did this at work today.
Well, that just makes us sound unprofessional.
I didn't say where I work.
It's true.
Nobody can get me
Exactly.
fired. We heard what you said.
So how do you want to handle this? Should we just like...
You know,
I just
I
kind of
don't
want to
really
just...
have a specific order except
I
for
don't
my
either.
top 2.
But I kind of want to just mention like just some of the great games that came out. Really, I'm gonna just go with some of the stuff that totally just got under the radar, because there's gonna be obvious games that we're gonna be talking about.
Yes,
Um,
blatantly
but
obvious.
the one that I really want to give a shout out to, that gets super no attention. 2 of them actually.
Okay.
Evil Within 2. I'm going to
Yes.
start with that one.
Yes.
That story was fantastic. Basically, they improved everything from the first one. The shooting mechanics, everything ran smooth, because you know how the first game ran like crap.
Yeah, it was clunky.
It was clunky. The story was very sparse. Like, the actors weren't really all that great,
No.
but like it had a cool premise. You guys, you've played the first one, right?
Yeah.
So you
No.
okay? So basically, it's basically an evil Matrix type game.
Yes.
So you get trapped into this like Matrix world that is being run by like a psychotic mass murderer. Essentially, spoilers for those that didn't play Evil Within 1. That game's been out forever, so whatever. But yeah, you get trapped into like this alternate thing, which you don't know at first, and then like all these shifts are happening, and it's just like very crazy, like Silent Hill turns and stuff like that. The second one, it gives character to the like Sebastian again. It stars Sebastian. Can't say his name right.
Sebastian.
And it talks about his like wife and daughter,
Okay.
and what's going on with them and stuff. Which I guess a lot of people didn't read the lore in the first one because they're like, "Oh, why does he automatically just care about his wife and daughter all of a sudden in the second one?"
Because they
And it's just
exist.
like they do exist. There was diaries in the
They
first
do
one that
exist.
like talked about how like it messed his head up, like what happened, which basically his daughter died in like a house fire, and then drove the mother crazy because she thinks that she was still alive or something and was looking for her.
Okay.
So yeah, it was crazy. This one elaborates more on that and is based more into that because in the trailers it kind of revealed that the daughter's still alive
Right.
and
Yeah.
is hooked up to this matrixy evil machine
Right.
gone wrong, and you got to go in and save her. And then stuff pursues.
Yeah, and I mean the monster design in that game is
The sound in this game,
sound design, monster design, and environments is like
like that was one of the games
Like.
in a while, like you know, like it was so great and
it's
like
horrifyingly beautiful.
Yes.
Can I
No.
say that?
like just the trailer when they first revealed it. I love that song.
Yeah, that's I really
There's,
like
a,
that
there's a
song.
song in there.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, we'll play it like during this video a little bit when I show the trailer down here somewhere. But like,
Down there somewhere.
yeah, it was fantastic. It was chilling
Mm-hmm.
and just like
Probably the reason I
freaking
never
cool.
played it.
It's so good though. I'm gonna have to make you play
I
it.
can't do scary games.
It's so good.
I feel like I'd have
though.
a heart attack.
Exactly, that's the whole point of it.
Not the point to
That
die
is
while
the-
you play the video game.
That is the point of it. It gets your heart pumping. You're like, oh crap, and then
Literally
you don't
gonna
die. And then you don't die. But yeah, it's basically called Ordinary World. Oh, we're gonna get copyrighted. I don't care. I don't care.
Bum 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 bum.
But anyways, yeah, the speaker behind us. Yes. But anyways, I'm gonna turn this down while we're talking about it. But yeah,
Does sound pretty cool.
except right.
Yeah.
But like the music that plays during it sometimes too is like just very haunting and chilling, and it sounds
So
so
when you hear it
freaking
later,
cool.
you get chills up your
Exactly,
spine.
and then you start remembering stuff. I connected so much to this story though, like it was so cool. It just gave you that hook, and you just kept wanting to find your daughter.
Okay.
It was really hard, like
I see
like,
that. I can see that.
It was like heart, like wrenching, like a little bit too. It was just
Kinda
like
when you watch a horror film.
yeah.
You just kind of
Like,
get into the characters.
you're just like, man, I gotta get my daughter out of here, and then like you get so close sometimes, and it's just like no,
And
and it's
there
like,
she goes. Yeah.
but
I
it's
see,
so
I can
good,
see that.
so good. But yeah, that's one that like really got like underplayed in some of the award ceremonies and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I noticed that. I
But yeah,
mean,
like this part with like the kid talking, it's just so chilling.
It's yeah. I mean, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like if I actually played the game, I'd be like, turn it off.
Exactly.
I've had enough. Please stop.
But like the other game that I really want to talk about is Wolfenstein. That I even brushed aside because it came out during Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
Assassin's Creed is like one of my favorites.
It was
so.
Assassin's Creed, Wolfenstein, and Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
The dreaded 3-day. October 30th.
I got one of those games.
And which one was that, Matt?
I'll get to it. I actually got 2 of those
He's like,
games. I did
"I'll
get
get
Assassin's
to it."
Creed.
But
I didn't
anyways,
finish it.
yeah, it was like so good. But I passed it off until actually just recently. I ended up powering through and actually beating it, and I'm like, holy crap, this game was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nazi
Never played
killing.
Oh,
Nazi
is that what it
killing.
is?
Yeah.
Killing
Okay.
Nazis.
Killing some Nazis. But it was
Nazis.
basically the premise was years passed and the Nazis won World War
Yeah,
II.
the
They took
Nazis
over
won.
America, and like
Okay.
you're starting like the revolution to go against the Nazis.
That just sounds so badass.
It was like,
I
and
mean,
it was
the
like
first one
cool, like
was.
weapons, and it was like futuristic. So like the Nazi had all their like technology that they were researching back then completed, and he had the big like like the dogs,
the
like
Colossus, right?
yeah, like they were insane.
Who doesn't like revolutions?
Exactly. Like it was so freaking cool. And then there's like one scene where you're on top of like the big like the big dog, and you can control it, and you just burn the Nazis.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to burn Nazis.
It was so great
gotta
because
pick
they
that game
go, "Oh, what's that? That's one of ours." And then they go, "Oh, it's not one of us." And then like you're just burning them. And it was just like, yeah,
Take that, Nazis.
take that, Nazis. But no, it was like the villain in that game. Engel was like just she's super insane, and it even like
She was
shows
insane in the
Hitler
first
and
one.
like they showed Hitler and like he's like super old.
I watched.
There was a scene where he was just like ridiculous. You're like, holy crap, Hitler's insane.
I watched.
Even though you knew he was insane.
Right.
Yeah. I saw one scene from that game where they're like, the Americans are like undercover. I think I didn't know the context of the situation, but they were in a room where Hitler came in and he was like, they were like interviewing.
Yep,
or
it was
talking
basically
about filming.
Yeah,
something.
so they were basically doing a
crazy.
movie. They were filming a movie because are you gonna play this game?
I'm gonna play this game.
Okay, I don't want to really say too much.
Don't say too much.
It's hard because like that
They're filming a
part
movie.
they were filming. Okay, they were filming a movie, and B.J. Blazkowicz, he was like undercover. That was the person who he playing as, and it was basically a movie about something. So he's filming it, and then Hitler comes in, and he's just like observing because Hitler wrote the movie, so he was trying to pick the main character.
Okay.
And as you had to memorize the lines, okay? So like you were reading the script, and then I could tell that I was gonna have to remember these lines. So I did the cheating thing of taking a picture. I took a picture, and then he's like, "Oh, let me write this down." He writes it on his hand, and then apparently, then towards like some point, his hands got all sweaty when he ended up having to do it. So when it was his turn to say the line, he put his hands up, and it was just all like messy words, and then you had to decipher it and pick the right line. But luckily, I cheated, so I did the right line each time. But like then, obviously, because it's BJ, he's just this big, bulky jarhead. He's not
Yeah,
gonna like
yeah.
perform right. He's just saying the words like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and then he's like, "Oh, that wasn't right," blah blah blah, and then like the other person does it, and he said something else, and then just beats him in the head. Like
Yeah.
this guy gets crazy and then shoots
like
the other
Glenn.
guy, huh?
What? I
Yeah.
said kind of like Glenn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
It's
will.
quite brutal. Rip Glenn.
I do. Yes.
Got a little sad there.
I did.
You just wait, Glenn.
You just wait.
Batman's
Glenn.
coming for you.
Batman is coming. Batman's coming for you. Cause I'm Batman.
Where's Glenn?
Where's Glenn?
Busts down a door of his apartment. Where's Glenn? Kelsey's like, Eric, what are you doing here?
It's like he's in the attic. Let's face it. She'll just be. He's in the attic. Go get him. But yeah, no, like it showed Hitler and like he was just insane. The story was just fantastic throughout. The music during the gun battles were just it just got you pumping and like just going. The
You know,
game's
it's-
hard.
It's id, so id knows how to like
The
do a
game was
score.
super hard to where I had to take breaks for a second because like I was getting my butt kicked.
That's funny.
Because it's like Doom, but it's not like Doom to where you can run around and shoot. You have to be in cover, but then you also have to run around because the Nazis, like the AI is really good to where they'll flank you
Oh.
and like
okay.
trap you.
Okay.
So you want to keep moving, but
More
you also want to be in
realistic.
cover and peeking and shooting and just constantly just jumping all around.
Huh.
So you have to be like so attentive in that game, and it's so great. And
Okay.
they got the dual wielding, so you can have like
Oh,
a
yeah.
shotgun
Oh,
and then
man.
an assault rifle, and you're
I love
shooting. It's like it's insane. But yeah, no, that game actually once I beat it, it's actually up there on my list now. So
Nice.
I wanted to talk about those before we got into the games that
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody usually knows about.
No. Yeah. No. That's cool. So yeah, those were essentially like honorable mentions. Some other like honorable mentions. We'll get to our top 10, but I just want to throw the other honorable mentions out there. Gravity Rush 2. Gravity Rush 2, like talk about an underrated game. Gravity Rush does something that no other JRPG I have seen does what that game does. I mean, you turn gravity off in that game, and now the city's upside down, and there's like
You played that one. I showed you that one.
Yeah,
There's like
once or twice.
a
Yeah.
lot more things to do now. Like, oh, okay, now there's 200 more things to find because I'm upside down now. But really, really good game. Tekken 7. Huge
Tekken
fan.
was back. It was
Love
awesome.
Tekken.
If I liked fighting games, I would choose that one.
Yeah.
But
The
it's-
story in Tekken 7 was
Um,
great.
I got it and I started it. I got it on a good PSN Plus sale. I started the
Dude.
story and I loved how I'm basically at the part where I just got to like this. It looks like a church building, and I'm Hayachi
Yeah.
fighting the guy with the face tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
and he beat the crap out of me twice, and I was like, this game sucks. No, I had to go to work, and I wasn't gonna waste my time with it. But
The game gets pretty hard, but like, man, Tekken 7.
it's back.
It's
in a
back.
big way. I really like that game. Hellblade.
Oh
Senua's
my
Sacrifice.
gosh. So this is the one that I was telling you about, where like you play as like this person that has a lot of like mental issues, where like she's, like schizophrenic and stuff like that, and it's best played with headphones on.
Oh.
And like because
How
it's
wonderful.
literally it's 3D audio, where while you're playing you have the voices that are literally all around
okay.
you.
Yeah, I can see how that'd be.
Like, and it was crazy because like it made you like
Does it make you go crazy?
it made you feel like you were going crazy. Like that's how great that game was, because you didn't know what was real and what was real.
Right.
Yeah, it was a beautiful game,
And
honestly.
like the story, the acting in that game, like the emotion with her, like Senua,
Mm-hmm.
was just great.
It was
and I loved
so good.
the fact that they did live action. Did
Yeah,
you
right,
notice
yeah.
that? Like it was like when the like the flash, like the faces were going in. It was live
yeah.
action, but they edited it to where it looked like it was in game, but it was live action faces
Yeah.
talking.
I
Yeah.
like
Because-
games better that way.
It was an indie. It was Ninja Theory, right?
It was Ninja Theory.
It was
but
Ninja
like
Theory,
indie
but it was their
developed.
indie developed game because they self-published their own game.
Okay.
And they did this game basically just to kind of make awareness of mental issues.
Yeah.
They like hired like professionals to like help show what people with that
They,
like feel like.
They interviewed a lot of people like with mental illnesses.
Yeah.
To really like get a feel for it. But yeah, it really addresses
I
a lot
mean,
of mental issues.
and I
It's
appreciated-
a really nice game.
I appreciated like during the Game Awards that it won Games for Impact,
Yes.
because that was definitely like a great game,
Big
and it
Games
made you
for
really
Impact,
think like,
yeah.
man, like I would hate to feel like this
Yeah.
and not know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
And like just the voices is like it was just always like shut up
Like, make
because
it
it's like
stop.
make it stop, like because like you're sitting there doing something and it's like, oh, don't do that, you're stupid, don't do that, like, and it's just like crazy, like, and it's all around you and it's like
Basically fighting with your own.
yeah, it was like literally fighting with your own thoughts, like, and it was just the way they designed the audio in that game was truly special, because it's like you had your headphones on and it feels like they're just going around you talking, and it was just nonstop while you're trying to do stuff too.
Yeah.
Talk about stress.
Yeah, like I felt
Yeah.
like highly stressed the entire time. Like the game itself, the premise of it was super easy. Like, yeah, the combat every now and then, but like you had to like parry and dodge and stuff.
Mhm.
Combat wasn't hard, but it was just like sometimes when you're fighting, they're talking, and it's just like you're trying to concentrate, and it was hard because they were breaking your concentration, and you knew they were doing that.
Yeah.
But man,
Crazy.
story was so good.
Really good game. Another one is Assassin's Creed Origins. I put this in my honorable mentions for good reason because a couple things. First of all, it's Assassin's Creed, and I'm just not going to put it in my top 10 because we get them yearly. Now, this was an honorable mention because this game was more polished and more finely tuned.
Oh, because they finally took a year
took a year
off.
off, and this is a 2-year development game or 2 or 3 year development game.
It's gorgeous.
And it is, yeah.
It looks really good.
And it sounds like they're going to do that from now on. They realize
and-
that,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they're
Take
not
some
going to
time
push
to
it.
make it.
Yeah. And they went back to Egypt. This is like the origin story, like the Brotherhood.
See, he
doesn't-
described it like Egypt. He didn't say, "Oh, Egypt's already out there." I tried to because she's like, "Oh, what's it based in?" I'm like, "It's Egypt," and she's like, "It's already in Egypt. It's still there." It's just like, you know what I meant when I say Egypt.
Anyway, it's Egyptian. It has an Egyptian atmosphere.
It's
sure.
pretty great.
It's pretty
I'm
cool.
still in the process of playing it, to be
Same.
honest.
Same.
Me too.
The game's huge.
It's
It's-
huge.
there's
It's,
a
It's
lot
like
to it.
one.
it's
Biggest
literally just like how Ghost Recon Wildlands was, where it's just overwhelmingly
gear.
like huge.
The gear is pretty awesome
I
too.
got
Yeah.
I got to like the
I-
first city, and then like looked at the map, and I was like, "Here I am. Let me zoom out a little."
And you're like,
Hey, here I
oh
am.
gosh.
Wait, I can still zoom out. Oh crap! I'm still zooming out. Oh gosh, there's a lot of islands.
And then
now.
what I like about it, it's more RPG now,
Very much so.
and like they had like the loot based thing, just kind of like Destiny.
I know, like,
which is kind of
there's-
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's loot. There's a loot ranking system where they've got like the purple and they've got yellow, which is like legendary items. One thing that is kind of funny about this game is I don't stealth at all. I mean, I do when I'm like going into camps and stuff.
I do it so much, like with the crossbow. I'll just be like
Yeah.
blink, blink, and then like just knife some people.
Like I love that, but at the same time, it's like if I get caught, I'm like, okay, I have really good weapons on me. So there's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
that's
of,
what I
like,
do. Like it's just
Yeah, if
I'll
you're a good
stealth,
fighter, I mean-
but then like I have like this sword that'll just poison people, and literally
Yeah.
like the sword will
I
poison
have,
everybody to
I
death.
have bleeding
Yeah, you're
damage
Like-
done.
on
Yeah, they're
mine.
done.
I have bleeding damage on the one I think I have equipped right now, but I really like the game. I'm looking forward to
I'm liking the
finishing
main character. I'm liking
So.
Bayek. He's
Yeah.
cool.
it. Bayek is cool.
He is
Better
Um,
than the freaking Wonder Twins in Syndicate.
I never.
I didn't like-
I
didn't like
don't
him.
think I
I
played
never
that
beat.
one.
I never beat Syndicate.
Is the
Like-
Syndicate like the? No, that's not Black
It was
Flag,
in
is it?
London.
I thought it was too
Oh
overwhelming.
yeah, I never finished that one.
Like it kind of got like I beat it, but like I had to really force myself to beat it, which isn't like me with
I
Assassin's
feel
Creed
like I had
games.
to do that. I thought it was overwhelming with switching between the brother and the sister.
Like I would have rather it would just stick with one person,
Yeah.
and I think the one person I would have rather stick with was her, the sister, because
Yeah.
the brother was kind of annoying. He was just a big brute, like, oh screw it, let's just go beat something, and it's like,
She was more.
and she was
stealth,
more assassin
Yeah.
and more
pretty good.
eloquent and intelligent, where he was just like, oh yeah, let me
Right.
just go beat this main boss in this area,
Right.
Yeah.
because
But
I don't even remember the story that much either. That's how bad it was.
It's been a long time since I played it.
Yeah.
So.
I liked the hook that it had, where
That
like you
was
could just go
cool.
like ving, and then it was like sky, like
yeah.
just
no, that
I don't
was
remember
a
that.
really good addition. They have like a hook shot where you can zip line between buildings.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, that part was so
Now I
cool.
remember.
I was so happy they put that in the game.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought I'd put Assassin's Creed on here as an honorable mention, just because it is more finely tuned and it's in a different environment, different gameplay. So I like it.
Oh yeah.
Next is personal opinion of mine, Sonic Mania. This game is outstanding. Like we finally got a good Sonic game.
Also, Sonic Forces.
You liked Sonic Forces?
I liked Sonic Forces.
Okay, that's on his honorable mention
Man.
list. I thought it was garbage. I'm sick of these 3D Sonic games because
I
I'm
thought
a
that-
huge Sonic fan.
I am too, but like that was one of the better 3D Sonic
As
games.
far as the 3D Sonic games go, it was good.
Like that's why I liked it, because I'm like, oh, it's improved,
It's
and then like,
very much
and then it's like cool. I like the throwback like Sonic, like the Sega, like the Genesis Sonic.
yeah.
Where you did the levels where like it was actual Sega Sonic, where he had the jumping like bling bling.
Are you sure you're not talking about? Well, no, Sonic Mania was all like classic, but it
Yeah.
was new levels and stuff.
No, I'm talking about Sonic Forces. There was stages where you played as Genesis Sonic. You didn't beat the whole thing, did you?
I didn't even play it. I don't want to.
Don't talk about a game you haven't even played it.
I have no comment.
I played through
so-
and beat it.
I'm so judgmental about Sonic games.
I played.
because-
I am too. I love Sonic, but that was awesome. Like you made your own Sonic character. Like he looked cool, and then like you had it was kind of like Generations,
Okay.
where Sonic came back, like the
Okay.
Genesis Sonic came in,
Okay.
and then like you had levels specific to where you played as Genesis Sonic, and it was literally just side scroll.
Well,
the-
maybe I'll check it out.
It was cool, like,
I'll
and it was
give it
on
the time
sale,
of
so
day.
I bought it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna have so much fun with it, but I did.
I'll give it the
Because
time
it
of day.
goes from 3D to 2D. It's kind of almost like how Mario Odyssey did, though, where it's like
Yeah.
it goes from like the 3D Sonic where you're running around
classic?
and doing
Okay, so
things,
they
and then it
combine
goes to side-scrolling 3D,
Okay.
Which was not bad.
which was sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then then you had the Genesis Sonic levels where it literally had the sound effects
Okay.
from Genesis Sonic, and you're bing bing, and like it was designed like the Sega Sonic.
Okay. But yeah, like
I will fight you for that one.
fine. I will check it out. I will.
I
check
like it,
out.
okay?
It's like, I will fight you.
I'll let you have this.
Okay,
But getting back to Sonic Mania,
but Sonic Mania is great.
that game was outstanding because they found a way to keep the game totally classic gameplay, but implement all these new designs and new levels and new enemies, and it was so good. The soundtrack was on point. It was just the perfect throwback Sonic game. With
It felt
new
like the
content.
sequel that we wanted back then.
Yeah, we should have gotten this game years ago. I love it. Another one, Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Love
the only
it.
reason I didn't put this in the top 10 was because it was kind of like an expansion game. And
But it
we-
wasn't
I still
though.
haven't played
But it
that one,
wasn't. It was
though.
Like,
huge.
and then it broke ground because it's showing that you can have an Uncharted game without Nathan Drake
You can have an Uncharted game without Nathan Drake
And-
female characters at that.
and not make it almost feel like it was Tomb Raider-ish. Because at first I thought of like
I like the way it looked. I haven't played it yet, but
it's
really
so
want
good. Like
to.
this, I'm close to beating it.
Oh, you didn't beat it?
I'm close to
dude,
beating
it's
it.
so good.
Yeah, I know it is. Like I'm really towards the end.
Where are you at?
I don't want to say.
Is it one of those? Is it one of those games that you just don't want to finish because it'll be over and it'll be sad?
Kind of because like I
No,
was
I felt with
I was
Uncharted.
enjoying it so much. Like I'm at the part where they separated, but then they came back. I'll just say that because that's kind of vague.
Okay,
It
so
is vague,
you
it's
know
fine.
of another person.
Yes,
Okay.
but I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
I
yeah,
was like, what?
but like yeah, I love Chloe. So I'm like, cool. I was happy to see her be back
This
into
gave
it.
me so much
Nadine, like
more.
I was skeptical about the Nadine thing,
Right.
but then I started to
Wasn't
actually
she the bad
dig it.
character?
She
In
was,
four.
but she really wasn't though.
She
Was just being hired by the bad guy.
She was working for the hired gun.
And at
More
first,
money,
I
I
didn't know
suppose.
that this was like a sequel and not a prequel because they pitched it like it was going to be a prequel.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it is literally after the events of 4.
Yeah.
Like when
like,
Nadine
towards the
loses,
end of 4.
like when Nadine loses like the military people because of Drake. and
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
from the actions of 4.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
And then she
so, yeah.
teams up with Chloe because
Right.
like they were talking about that, and that's why Nadine hates Chloe. Hates Chloe, hates the Drake brothers and
Yeah,
all this
right.
stuff.
Right.
So I didn't know that it was a sequel, so I dug that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super exciting.
Yeah, it was
Just
really
like
good.
in Uncharted fashion,
Yeah.
it is awesome.
And what is cool, it's like it was more open.
It was. It
Like
was.
the sections were just more open
That-
to like kind of explore
Yeah,
and like
that section
do different
where
paths.
You've got your Jeep. That was awesome. I
Yeah.
found all those coins and like got the.
I wanted to, but I was trying to really force myself just
So,
to keep playing.
What it does is when you get all the coins and you take them to the queen's whatever and you place them in the thing, it gives you this ring, the queen's ruby, I think is what it's called. So what happens is when you've got it on, it flashes and makes it glows bright red and like makes a sound when there's treasure near. So it finds treasure for you.
That's
It's a
pretty
treasure
cool.
beacon thingy. Ring.
But yeah,
That's what
it's
it
really
does.
good. Like, I recommend picking it up. It's super cheap,
I liked it.
and
It
it's
was
been
awesome.
going on sale every 5 seconds.
I picked it up for $10 on Black Friday.
Yeah, it was like $10
Sweet.
on Black Friday.
It was 20, but I had a coupon.
Sorry, 20.
Huh?
I lied. It was 20.
You know what? That actually wraps up our honorable mentions. So, you know what? So, you know what? That wraps up the honorable mentions. I actually want to get to the.
I'm dying. It's hot in here. I'm sorry.
It is so hot. I'm wearing a hoodie. Like, I'm dying. I digress.
It's the new lighting, okay? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it is.
It's the lighting, guys.
It is. That's brighter than it used to be. And then we got this big light right here. That actually does help, but like it's just I gotta figure out how to disperse the heat.
Yeah. So, yeah. Before we move on to the list you guys really want to hear, the top 10, I'll throw out my top disappointments of the year, and the monitor is off.
4. Good God. Sorry.
What?
Come on.
The TV's off.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, the TV's been off.
It's been off.
I've turned the TV off because like it won't show anything in the back anyway because
No,
it'll be all
whatever.
blurry. So there's no point in having it
Whatever.
on.
It's the lighting.
Yeah.
Top
You want
disappointments.
to hand me a Coke? I need to like wash all
You
this.
really don't need Coke. It's bad for your health.
I need
Actually,
Coke.
I'm gonna need one too because I'm still burping up fish.
Exactly.
That's awful.
It was really awful.
It's dying down, but it's still there. Anyway, top disappointments, which I don't really have. Thank you.
Pass it down. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't really have many. I'm sure there's more. But my top disappointments of the year, I've only got like 3.
It's still going.
But let me just start right out the gate. You know, the biggest disappointment of 2017 is, drumroll please, Mass Effect sucked.
What? No, it didn't.
Horrible game.
No, it didn't.
The fact that I am saying that about one of my all-time favorite game trilogies hurts my soul, my inner being. They ruined one of my all-time favorite franchises.
It was really
To the
awful.
point where I don't even know if BioWare wants to go back to Mass Effect at this point because of how much they failed, how much they dropped the ball in this game.
You know, really, the reason why it failed so bad is EA pushed their Frostbite engine on it.
Yeah,
They should have just stayed with the Unreal Engine.
they pushed
like,
their Frostbite.
Because
engine on it.
I read into this multiple times now, and they originally developed this game with Unreal, and then like halfway through, they were like, "Oh, here, use the Frostbite."
Hey, no.
And so like the
Stick with what you're
animations
good
just
at.
started suck. Like you saw some of those videos where like it showed the animation for how it used to be, and then what we got, that one that I showed you, like the facial animations was just awful.
My face is numb from talking.
I mean, they slightly fixed it.
Her eyes were like, my face is numb from talking.
And then like the main character looked like he just had like social issues where he just wouldn't look right. Like he'd be looking at you and then just kind of his eyes are rolling and like his head will be tilting and the eye like it was the biggest thing were the eyes. The eyes would just not like lock onto somebody. It was just always just like you're looking at somebody and then the eyes would be like this.
I hate to say it, but play this game if you want a good laugh.
Yeah.
I hate saying that. I'm disgusted.
And I wanted to like it.
I'm disgusted by BioWare.
I keep trying to like it too. I keep trying to go back into it and then I'm just like,
It is still installed on my PS4.
Same.
And it's still just one of those games where I'm like, I want to play this game, but I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
I can't stomach the game.
The
game is driven by narrative, and the story in this game sucks.
But then when the story is and the characters are pulling you out of it,
you can't do that in a Mass Effect game. It's about the characters and the story and the dialogue, and all 3 of those things are terrible in this game. The gameplay was good. The combat was solid. They improved that.
It just felt like Dragon Age with guns.
It was still good though for a Mass Effect game.
I'd rather have Mass Effect 3.
I was gonna say I would rank it below Mass Effect 3, but I didn't think the gameplay was awful.
No, it was kind of stale.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't like how they make you only use 2 of your powers at one time.
Yeah.
They took away the wheel. That was stupid. So.
Well, that was depressing.
Yeah, that was depressing. That's why I'm getting these out of the way. I want to end on a good note.
That was depressing.
Next one, my personal opinion. I'm a huge Marvel vs. Capcom fan, and I freaking hated Infinite. It was garbage.
I deleted it.
First of all, how are you going to take one character off your team? 2-man teams now?
Yeah.
It was terrible. What that did to the game is it slowed it down tremendously. The game does not have that high, fast-paced, adrenaline-inducing fighting anymore. It's slowed down. The dialogue in the story is atrocious.
Which was a shame because it looked like it was going to be so good.
It did.
The story has a cool concept. Basically, Ultron takes over the planet, and he's trying... He's like possessed by something. I really honestly didn't play too much of it. And he's like Ultra Mega Ultron, whatever.
Infinite Ultron.
Yeah. And he's trying to get a hold of the Infinity Stones. And then one part that I literally laughed at this part because I'm like, that's not possible. This is so stupid. So what happened was they were like, you know what? We have Thanos in captivity right now. And I'm like, whatever. Like, they go to their base, and, like, Thanos himself is in a freaking, like, laser jail cell. I'm like, you can't hold Thanos captive. That's impossible. He could just go, and he's gone. But he's just, there he is in a jail cell. Whatever. So they wanted to enlist, what they wanted to do is they wanted to enlist Thanos. They wanted his help to find the Infinity Stones. So they could use the Infinity Stones to actually...
They're going to give him a chance to get the
Ultron.
Infinity Stones.
So you're telling me not only is this dude in captive impossible...
They're trusting him to get the Infinity Stones.
They're entrusting him to help them find
He's like the
something
ultimate bad guy.
Yeah.
that he wants to use to destroy the galaxy.
And quite selfish. I mean, I don't think he's going to be like, here you go.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here,
got
I
the
did that for
Infinity
you
Stone for
guys.
you.
Let me go.
It's funny because in this scene...
Oh my gosh.
They kind of like explained it a little bit, but not good enough. I forget. I think it was Captain Marvel walked in and she was like, "You guys are idiots. You are not about to use him to help you find the Infinity Stones." And I'm like, "Okay, good." And then she like came to and was like, "Whatever, we'll do it." And I'm like, "This game sucks." It's just, but the gameplay is what got me the worst. It was just so lackluster for Marvel vs. Capcom. Take me back to the original in the arcade. Even Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I love that game.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was great.
We used to throw down
Yeah, we
that
did.
game, man. So yeah, moving on from that, last one, you know it, Battlefront 2. Now the gameplay itself
It's solid.
is solid. It's a really fun game.
It just had a super bad clout over it.
Yeah, and they've got some things to fix with servers still. They're getting there. But EA,
Loading times suck. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I've played that game, and it's like, it's horrible when you want to back out to the main menu because you have to wait like almost like 5 minutes while it's loading.
Sounds like Final Fantasy.
And then
15.
sometimes it'll just completely freeze, and you have to shut it down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who
And the
doesn't wanna
worst
do
thing
that?
is because it's like when you're playing in like the servers, you'll unlock, the loot crates and stuff, which you can't open while you're in a server. So you have to back out.
Oh my gosh, that's so.
So it's
dumb.
kind of like, I kind of want this new
You
gun,
know,
but should I back out and wait 5 minutes?
You'd think they learned from Battlefield. Battlefield lets you open your loot crates during the match.
And it's DICE. Like, why didn't they just do that?
I don't know about a lot of things. EA is dumb. And then I don't even have to get into the whole... I'll just summarize what happened. Somebody on Reddit or EA went to Reddit and explained how they were going to like fix the microtransactions, and it was the worst excuse ever. Something like they slashed prices of the loot crates but didn't change anything about them. And then it was the most downvoted comment in Reddit history. And it finally, like, this is what I really like about it in turn is
the community struck back.
The community struck back. We
actually made a difference.
We actually made a difference. The community made a difference finally. And
EA took the entire like just pay to win out.
Yeah, and then they made everything free. They were like, "Crap, people hate us right now."
Well, and then Disney like got mad too because they're like, "You're destroying the licensing of Star Wars."
Really,
like they were threatening to pull licensing from them.
Yeah, they threatened to pull the license from EA. I think that's
what really did it.
Made them go, "Oh crap!"
Because they're like, Disney was like, "Okay, why is everybody hating you guys right now?" And they probably looked into it and was like, fix this or you're done.
Now.
Because it's Disney. They just bought Fox.
Yeah.
Right, it's pretty ridiculous.
They don't care.
Gosh,
they got the money.
They got the money. They're like,
make it free
you're
or
messing
else.
with our money. You're messing with our money now.
Wow.
All right, so let's get away from the depressing crap.
For a second there, I thought that said Hello Kitty. I'm like, why is Hello Kitty in your top 10?
Yeah, it's Hello Kitty.
Hello Blade.
No, Hello Kitty.
Oh.
I just like glanced and it's just like, Hello Kitty.
So yeah, let's get away from that crap. Now, it is on to Matty C. Killer Fox's top games of 2017.
Whoa!
In no specific order except for the last two because I threw this together and they're basically just the best games of the year.
Okay, you're gonna have to like give me that in writing so I can just have that in a subtitle the entire time.
Dang it, I wish I had Bixby open. I would have just,
yeah, I don't know.
Repeat what I said, Bixby. So yeah, let's see here. I'll just basically start at the bottom of the list and save the top two for my top two because those are in specific order. First on the list, Divinity Original Sin 2. These games are freaking good.
Never played it.
They're so
Never heard of
good.
it.
You can get.
I've always wanted to play it, but I never played it.
The second one's PC only right now, but I'm sure they'll put it on console because they put the first one on console.
Oh, that's why it's a PC game.
Which I actually
Oh,
don't
the
have a
first
PC.
one.
I just played it at a friend's house, and I was like, this game's freaking great. But the first one is on PS4. Reduced price pretty well. It's always on sale, which I want to pick it up. I never played the first game, but
I think
everybody
I
said it was
have
so good.
I think I have it, and I just haven't played it.
It's Diablo-esque style game. It's a top-down.
Okay, yeah, I have that. And I
It's
just haven't played
a
it.
top-down RPG, top-down Western RPG. Very much like Diablo. Really good story, good narrative, good characters, good voice acting, all around fantastic game. I'd highly recommend getting that game if you have a PC, or just wait for the console port. Next on the list, Hollow Knight. I feel like this one went under the radar.
I don't even know what that is.
It is awesome. You should look up a trailer
It's like
for
a
it.
Shovel Knight.
It is a side scroller, kind of like a Metroidvania type Shovel Knight. Maybe like Rogue. What was that one game? Rogue Knight or
Rogue.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
though.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Kind of like that, but the animation and the style of this game is beautiful. It's like a cartoon animation, and the environment, like, I can't even explain
You'll
it.
have to keep.
You'll
give
have
me
to look
this
at the
list.
trailer, but it's like Dark Souls difficult. It's a side-scrolling
Oh,
Dark
no,
Oh,
Souls,
thank you.
great.
but it's so good.
I suck at side scrollers anyways. Just make it
So-
harder for me. Yeah, cool.
Moving
Thank
on.
you.
Speaking of side-scrollers and Dark Souls difficulty, finally it came out. We got Cuphead. Cuphead was so
Huh?
rage-inducing.
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my
It's
god, you gotta look it
literally-
up. It's so fun.
It's literally like an old timey like Mickey Mouse
Like,
cartoon.
You know, like Steamboat Willie,
Yeah.
like Mickey Mouse, but in color, and like that's the game animation. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, like it was really freaking
You have
cool.
to at least appreciate the development cycle of this game. They had to hand draw
Yeah,
so
everything was like
many
hand-drawn,
animations.
Oh
basically.
god.
Beautiful game. But the difficulty is so insane. But when you beat one of these bosses in the game, you get the pattern down. You jump and jump, jump, shoot, jump, whatever. You find the pattern. You beat a boss, and it's as satisfying as like killing a boss in Dark Souls. But yeah, awesome.
It was
game.
really good. Like, I still haven't even come close to beating it at all because it was just really, really crazy.
Oh, I've never seen it before.
Great game. Like, that's the game.
I'm into cartoony, like...
Yeah,
feels.
it's really hard. But it's co-op.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Cuphead!
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
Ta-da.
You should look up the trailer for Hollow Knight, too.
I will. I'll be putting it in the
yeah.
thingy.
Anyway, yeah, Cuphead was such an awesome game. Everything about that game was great.
Still haven't beat the first level.
I do have a fighting game in my top 10, actually. Moving on. Injustice 2.
Yeah!
Pretty good.
Loved this game.
Such
man.
a great game.
In the midst of all the crap on the silver screen that DC puts out, I haven't even seen Justice League, and I'm like,
I haven't seen Justice League 2
I
yet.
really want to see that.
like, I don't even have
I
high
still
hopes.
wanna see it,
I
yeah.
want to see it, obviously, but I just don't have high hopes for any of their movies anymore.
I
can't.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good, and people are gonna hate it. I was one of the few that liked Batman versus Superman.
I didn't think that
yeah,
movie was
I wasn't into that one.
terrible.
That one actually kind of bored me, unfortunately.
I didn't think it was terrible. They could have done some things differently.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
I
were just trying to cram a whole bunch of stuff down your throat at once.
I,
That's all it was.
I
Took too long to get to
Yeah.
the good stuff.
I got spoiled at the end credits scene for Justice League, and holy crap. I won't say anything,
You
but
bet not.
wow. It's
I'm about to throw
the
a
next
potato
like
at you.
the next movie they put out with like a group of people in the movie is going to be amazing. If they do it
Yeah,
right, they
I
got to do
want
it
to
right.
see it. Like, I can't wait.
But yeah, Injustice 2, in the midst of the crap movies, the story in this game and the narrative is awesome. They're still going with
like alternate like universe.
the alternate
stuff.
universe, but it's like it's a multiverse type thing. There's multiple universes with
Yeah,
multiple
it's
different
really cool.
scenarios.
Yeah, I still haven't finished it either.
And NetherRealm Studios, those guys just know how to make fighting games.
Yeah, they do. What's your
So
favorite
much fun.
character?
Oh man, favorite character. I got pretty good with Scarecrow actually.
Arrow, Harley Quinn,
Okay.
Harley's pretty sweet.
and
like,
Black
she's-
Canary. Black Canary is my main.
Really?
I can whoop.
I
butt
was
with
doing
Black
pretty good
Canary.
with her, but I'm interested
Yeah.
now to see.
And then,
she's your main.
Harley Quinn was mine.
But Arrow's usually my other second go to.
Yeah, I really liked Scarecrow.
But Black Canary, that's the one that's like my highest character.
Okay. That too, they implemented, because every game implements this. They have loot crates. But
But I
they work
actually
in
liked
this
it.
game.
It's really cool
They
because
work
it's
in
like
this game.
you make that character your own.
Yeah, they give you different armor set pieces, different color options for the outfits. The only thing that I didn't like about the game is you could go online and stand no chance against some people, because some people would break the game and just use Bane and have all strength attributes and just
Oh yeah.
backbreaker, you're dead. Like, it was ridiculous. I think this one.
I
dude did-
refuse to play any. The only game that I played online fighting related was Tekken 7. That was only to get the trophy because I platinumed that game.
I'll platinum that game.
And it felt satisfying platinuming it.
So yeah, I really liked Injustice 2. I cannot wait to see a third game of that and the next Mortal Kombat, and just keep it up. Keep doing what
Yeah,
you're
Mortal
doing,
Kombat.
NetherRealm.
Mortal Kombat.
If I was into fighting games, they are just amazing.
Yeah.
They are.
Just keep doing what you're doing, NetherRealm. I'm so happy to have put this on my top 10 list. You can completely
And the fact
agree
that
with
like
Still need
people are
it.
actually talking about
people
it
are
mainstream
talking
now.
about this game. This game was like nothing
give
in
anything
America. This game was like
Ooh,
nothing
wow.
in America until this game. Persona 5 is so good.
So is all the other Persona games.
So were all the other Personas, but they just weren't recognized until this game came
Persona
out.
4 was great.
Yeah. Amazing story. amazing characters. It's like you're playing an anime. It is turn-based combat, and I know that turns a lot of people off, but the way they do it in this game
It's
is
really
so
fun and like satisfying.
fun, satisfying. It's a refreshing kind of new take.
And just
on
like the
turn-based.
menus, like everything's so flashy and anime
Everything
style.
pops out of the screen.
Like-
It's just awesome.
So cool when you do the all-out attack, and it's just like it goes black and white, and you just see people doing stuff, and then it does like the finisher where it shows the character name and
Yeah,
stuff.
oh, it's so cool.
It's really cool.
Very, 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 very manga style for this game. Manga and anime is so relevant in this game. They are working on an anime, and
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I didn't
Persona 5 the
see-
animation. They did the prequel to Persona 5.
yeah,
Which was
they did do
good.
that. But
I mean, they did with Persona 4, so it's gonna be good.
This
Persona
game-
4's the animation was good.
yeah, it was. This would be the game that I would highly recommend to people who haven't played JRPGs or people who are afraid to get into them because they're like, they're so weird and they're so long and take forever to beat and then play this game.
I mean, this game is really long. I still haven't beat it.
It's very long. I haven't beaten it. It's very. Oh my gosh, 90 hours tops for a basic run through of the story, easily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But very, very, very good game. So pleased with it. Again, these are in no specific order. I could probably pick an order of like my top 5, but I'm just throwing these out there.
I'm already loving this next one because this is literally going
Right.
based off of
Right.
anime. Anime was a
finished
big
that one.
deal.
It was. It
A
was.
big deal in 2017. Near Automata. Automata, whatever, however you...
Autonoma.
How do you pronounce
Autonoma.
Autonomous.
Like, the music in that game, the score was just fantastic. Everything, like, and what I appreciated with that game, once you beat it, you didn't really beat it.
Right.
There's so many different endings. You
Yeah.
beat it, and then you load it back up, and then it's a new story.
Oh, nice.
And it just keeps going.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Like, and then you play as a second character, then a third character, and then stuff happens, and then other stuff happens, and then you replay, and then it's like, it's insane.
Basically,
I
there
still
was-
haven't officially beat that game yet.
Yeah, basically.
I
there
beat it
was,
twice already, essentially.
Did you? I didn't even beat it once.
I'm halfway through the third, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. But yeah, really, really. Oh, excuse me. Really, really different take from the first game.
Like,
This is like
Platinum
one of the-
Games.
This is one of the best improved games I've ever seen because the first game was terrible.
Never played the first one.
The first one was garbage. It was so terrible.
But yeah, I mean, they gave it to Platinum Games, and it was just, the combat was satisfying. It was very anime style, like, soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah. Combat was awesome. Environment was awesome. Characters. It was so funny, like, actually caring for some of these, like, lifeless robot characters.
Right? Like Pastel.
Pastel.
Pastel was awesome.
I loved the abandoned theme park. That was
That
like
was so cool.
one of my favorite parts. That was so cool.
Like, and then like when you're doing the fight scene where you're like on the roller coaster,
yes.
like that part was so freaking
So
cool.
cool.
Like, just everything's so stylish because I appreciate it now that I'm thinking about it. It went from hack and slash to side scroller hack and slash
Yes.
to top down like shooter,
Yeah.
like twin stick shooter style. Like, this game can be everything. And then it was like a flying like jet shooter for a little bit there at points. Like
Yeah.
like this game switched to so many different types of games, which was so unique.
Offers
Unique.
A lot. It sounds.
It was a lot.
I've
Yeah.
tried like a good 10 minutes of the game, but that's about it.
Moving on.
Oh, here we
Next on the
go.
list, another killer, another 2017 killer, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ah.
That game broke her.
It broke me a little. I don't do a lot of difficult games, and this is kind of why. And they put a lot into it. They put a lot into it.
Like, it makes you think.
you
like,
have to think.
You like, before you go into like an encounter with some of these freaking robots,
Yeah.
you have to plan it out how you're gonna take some of these down.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Which was so cool.
I remember walking around in an area and I'm like, grab that bandit. And I got that bandit, and then I like walk around the corner and I see this new thing that I haven't seen before, and it's just the size of a house.
And you're like, oh
fire
crap!
everywhere,
Yeah, you're
and
like,
I'm like,
how am I going to fight this?
and turning around now.
Yeah.
Giving up.
I did fight it because I'm like, all right, that looks horrifying, but we'll see what it does, and I'm dead.
And the DLC that came out at the end of the year too makes the game even harder.
Does it really? I've never played
Some of the some of the enemies are so new, and then there'll be certain things where the strategies that you used to do on certain enemies don't work anymore because there's a new type of enemy that negates what you used to do.
Of course.
It was
I'm
great.
a little afraid to go back to it. I'm probably going to have to restart it, to be honest. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. There's so much to it. You have to
you got to remember like the mechanics
styles,
and
techniques. Oh my god.
Yeah,
technique.
I think the only thing that I wanted more out of that game was maybe just go a little bit deeper into the story of like the past a little bit.
I was okay with what they said towards the end. Like
it was
like they explained it for the most part.
I was satisfied with the story. I wanted more.
Towards like the end, without being very vague because somebody hasn't beat it yet. They explained it like you read some of the books and stuff. Like that's the thing. Like you have to read sometimes in some games, which I guess is okay. But like if you don't read some of it, you'll get to the where it's like, okay, they don't really explain too much, but they did.
They did. You just weren't paying attention.
It was. I liked what happened, like how they explained what happened, but I don't understand why people were just like they reverted back to cavemen.
Yeah.
Because they were so just afraid of technology at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
It was weird. It's like they didn't want to mess with technology at all. They're like, this is when people say this will send us back to the Stone Age. It sent them back to the Stone Age.
Yeah. But it was good.
But
graphics were amazing. Like just
I was so happy to finally get the recharging type armor.
I took that into the DLC. That is very needed.
That's needed everywhere in that
game.
That is
needed.
Awesome game.
Oh yeah.
Next on the list.
I loved this game so much.
Resident Evil 7. Come on, man. This game was great.
Like,
going back to
Resident Evil
roots.
going back to the roots, making it first person.
Making it first person. Oh my goodness.
Game was terrifying.
Yeah.
And I played most of it in VR.
Yeah, I was going to say, you tried it in VR. That's quite terrifying.
Silly man. You are crazy.
I mean, we had those videos where I got my hand chopped off, and that was terrifying.
Like when we did the midnight launch stream. And
oh my gosh.
And it was the part where the chick crawls up the stairs, and then he's in the hallway.
Because she had just stabbed my hand and made it stuck, and I'm just like trying to struggle to get it out, and then here, and I'm like, is that a chainsaw? And then here she comes with the chainsaw. Oh my gosh, it's a chainsaw! And I'm going like this, holding the controller up, and like the hands going on is like.
He was like flailing. He was like,
yeah, because it was ridiculous. Chainsaw all up in my face. It cuts my hand off.
Oh man.
Oh. That was
like the reactions alone.
Yeah. It was insane.
Yeah. I really appreciated that game. Going back to its roots, trying out the first person.
So far, I played a little bit of the Not Hero with Chris.
Okay.
Good so far.
Cool.
Seems like they're going to be explaining some of the reasons why Chris was with Umbrella in a way. So, yeah.
I need to play more.
It's pretty good so far. It's
different
because it's more shooty but not shooty.
Okay.
I still want to play the End of Zoe DLC.
Okay.
So
yeah, Res 7. Now, those games were in no specific order. Here's my top 2. I have my number 2 and then my number 1. Number 1. So first, I'm going to start with, and this is, I don't know how you feel.
Wait, are you going to start with your number 1 or your number 2?
Number 2.
Okay, because you said number 1.
Coming in the number 2.
Yeah.
Best game of the
okay.
year. Now, this is my opinion. I don't know how you would feel about this.
I'll let you know.
But I settled on this game. I had to. I was just
for your second game of the year.
Blown away by this game, Super Mario Odyssey. This is one of those games that just makes you smile. Both of you?
I love Mario, so I can't really put it in a specific order either.
Here's my thing with this game. Not every game you play, like a lot of games we play, you have a range of emotions. I play this game and I'm just smiling from ear to ear the whole time I play the game.
Honestly,
Mario's pretty awesome.
I would say that my number 2 was Wolfenstein 2, and I was smiling from ear to ear killing Nazis.
Okay, fine.
And I played it in 2018.
Likes to kill people,
and I was playing in 2018.
You know, he likes to play some colorful games.
But yeah, I honestly would say that
this game harkens back to Mario 64 so well.
See, I was never a Nintendo kid, so
see, that's
I think that's what kind of I like the game. The game's fun. But it's not calling me.
You've never experienced previous Mario titles.
Except
I think they really need to do something with Donkey Kong next. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah.
I love Mario, but they don't do a lot of stuff with Donkey Kong.
They did announce yesterday they're porting in Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, to the Switch, and Dark Souls. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Oh,
they're porting in Dark Souls.
Like, just like you wanted to beat your freaking Switch.
Like, look, guys.
Kind of put the most irritating game ever.
Like, listen,
just snap it in half.
I'll throw my controller. I ain't throwing my Switch if I'm playing Dark Souls laying in bed or something. But yes, Super Mario Odyssey was a phenomenal game. It's like a freaking awesome theme park going through this game. Every single level's got this cool. Like every single level's got your map that you pull up, and it's like a brochure. Like you're visiting, you're a tourist in the city. You've got these moons instead of stars that you collect now. I will say that some of the moons that you collect are a little too easy to get. There are some hard ones. The level that stands out is obviously the new
typical
Donk
Mario,
City.
though. If you think about it.
Yeah. They're all in the same in the same vein of gameplay pretty much. But the one level that stands out obviously is the new Donk City. There's so much to do in that city. They're coming out with free DLC too. But yeah, that game is so enjoyable. There's never a dull moment in that game, honestly. I love the customization, the outfits. What is your gripe? I need to hear this.
Do you really want me?
Quite bored with
do
this
you
stuff.
really want me to? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
I
don't want to be this guy.
Well, it's kind of a thing, so go ahead, bud.
I need to hear it.
I thought the boss battles were boring. Like,
I thought some of them.
It was just like I loved exploring and whatnot. Like, it was cool. But did he always have to run all the time?
Yes.
So you've never played previous Mario games.
But I mean,
he's not very good at them. That's
it's
why.
like no, I wasn't bad at this one or anything. Like it was fun to explore and whatnot. But then you got to the boss battles; they weren't really exciting. They were lackluster. And then if you face Bowser, that was the only interesting one for a second.
Honestly,
and then but then it was mostly the same. But he did get me with a haha. You thought this was gonna be the same type of strategy. And then that was the only aha moment that I faced in boss battles.
You should go back and play Mario 64.
I'm not going to. I've tried.
Yeah, you have to play all the other ones too.
I had a DS and I did the Mario 64, and it was just kind of like.
I like how super easy it is, though.
But it was.
It's just a game
I'm not saying that it's bad. Let me get this straight. I'm not saying it's bad. I had fun. Even when we were playing co-op, I was having fun playing it. It's a fun game.
Co-op's a little odd, but
it is odd, yes.
It's just a relaxing game.
But yeah, it's a relaxing game to play. I enjoy it, but it wasn't my top.
Here's what I appreciate the most about the game. The fact that Nintendo can revisit the same freaking character and formula since the late 80s and still perfect whatever they do with this freaking character.
It's a good point.
Hmm?
They can just nobody else in the gaming industry can say that. They've revisited this character a gajillion times and they perfect it every time, except for a couple games.
Going from because I was not a Nintendo kid, and this kind of leads into the number one thing. Okay, so going from playing my number one game of the year
and mine.
That I never played too much of that type of game before either.
Yeah.
Going, okay, well maybe this will be the Breath of the Wild of Mario. And then it just didn't compare to my standard that Zelda set.
Sure.
Because I'm thinking,
Fair
oh,
point.
yeah, this is going to be just like how it was a big increase from the other Zelda game that I played was on the 3DS, The Link Between Worlds or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I played Twilight Princess a little bit. But then going from that to Breath of the Wild. And it was just like, I was digging that game.
So
I breathed that game.
So
I
he threw it out
breathed.
there. So he threw it out there.
Yeah, I threw that out there because that's my number one game of the
Number
year.
one, Breath of the Wild.
And I'm not a Nintendo kid.
So that being said, it's both our number one, but he's not a Nintendo guy.
And I enjoyed that game.
He played this game, and like this game made you want to go back and play previous titles.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
and it sucks because the Switch doesn't have previous titles.
They need to port in like all the
Yeah.
Zeldas to the Switch.
Like, as soon as I beat that game, I'm like, man, I want to go back and play more Zelda games.
I think
And then
you-
I haven't been able to.
If they ever port it, or if you can get your hands on
I
it,
want to
they
do
don't.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker is outstanding.
Like, because I was looking at them, and I'm like, okay, I want to try Wind Waker.
think-
I want to go back to Twilight Princess without the Wii aiming crap
Yeah,
that I was
right.
doing before. Because I was digging the game, but I just got tired of whacking the freaking thing.
That's why I was really happy they ported it to the Wii.
Yeah.
U. But
Got tired of swinging the sword.
Breath of the Wild, when you look at this game,
I want to play the game. I don't want to. I don't want to have to play the game
yeah, right.
unless I'm playing VR. That's different.
That's different. Breath of the Wild in VR. No.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing, but I
be
All the
doubt,
colors, I
I
mean.
doubt the Switch would be like, guess what, guys? We're bringing the virtual one
Remember
back.
when they were just saying like the Switch was gonna be a VR unit? Like you could just have it.
Oh
Like,
my
And it was just
gosh,
gonna be
I
like
remember.
this big VR unit on
I
your
remember
head.
that
Yeah.
rumor. Yeah, I remember that rumor. So yeah, when you look at a game like Breath of the Wild, you think, you know what? This is one of those games that people are going to be talking about for years. People are going to be playing this game like 3 years down the road. Like, I'm going to revisit Breath of the Wild. It's endless. It is one of the biggest maps I've ever explored.
And I mostly walked it
This game,
and exploring.
yeah, this game has a better sense
I guess-
of discovery than an Elder Scrolls
I guess
game.
most people use horses because like when I say that I literally just walked around, they're like, "Why?" Like that took forever. I'm like, "Yeah, but
Depends.
like it was great because I was finding stuff,
It depends.
and then I
Like,
would get distracted."
if I'm like on a quest,
I would steal a
and
horse
I've-
randomly, like when I was
know,
doing a quest, but
yeah, like if I've already discovered most of the area, and I
Yeah.
have to go from here to here, then I'll get on a horse.
it wasn't towards like basically when I beat the game, I actually like trained and like tamed a horse
Yeah.
because I honestly didn't even know that was even a thing
Yeah. Now they have the.
because they don't explain anything, which I loved.
Yeah.
It was always
Figure it out
common
yourself?
sense stuff. Like it was common sense things, which it was just always like, huh? I wonder if I can do that. Oh, I can do
Guess
that.
what? You can do
Kind of
that.
like that game Alchemy. You just kind of like have to
Yeah.
figure it out your own.
Like
Yeah.
it was cool because it was just like the sense of discovery and like just the game allowed you to do things that no other game that I played lets me do.
There's like 20 different ways to kill one goblin.
Yeah.
You can drop a boulder on him using your lift ability. You can shoot that log with an arrow and have it roll down on him from the hill.
Heck, people made flying machines
People made flying machines.
Wow.
using the metallic
Yeah.
thing. Like I saw that, I'm like, that is freaking cool. Like, and then now there's like freaking bikes because of the
Of
DLC.
the ancient bike.
Yeah, like I want to beat the DLC. I haven't beat it yet,
Oh,
but
man.
it's so cool so far.
Yeah, and like this game, not to mention, it's one of those games that people are gonna be talking about for years. It's one of those games like Eric, for instance. My fiance is like not even a gamer. Like she had a 360 before we met, but she used it for Netflix, and she had like Assassin's Creed on it. She didn't play games at all. We're engaged. We live together now. I bought a Switch. She has more hours in Breath of the Wild than me, and she's like, we have got to play the previous titles. And I'm like, you do. I'm so... like, she's a gamer now. She wants to play other things. She wants to play a game on the PS4. She wants to play this game. She wants to get into Skyrim now.
People
Like-
judge it before they even try.
Right.
This game alone turned her into a gamer.
Well, and then this game came out when I slowly was kind of regressing into playing games. And like it brought me back into it a little bit because I'm just like, man, I was getting kind of burnt out, and then this game allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I never felt like I was being handicapped by what the game mechanics wanted me to do, which made me impressed by this game. Because I'm just like, most games you're playing it and then it's like, okay, you try to do something that you want to do, and then the game you hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
Where this game was just like every time you went to go do something, there was no roadblock. So like, and then it felt like you just had freedom to where like even if you died, you're like, okay, well that was something on my end. It wasn't because this stupid game mechanic caused me to die. And then like it sucked because I would have before Breath of the Wild came out, I was going to say Horizon Zero Dawn was my number 1. Like, I played it, I beat it, and I was like, yeah, this game's my number 1. And then this game came out, and it broke Horizon a little bit for me because some of the things that I thought I could do, like climbing stuff, I couldn't do. And then I was getting annoyed because I'm like, okay, why can't Aloy climb just a little tiny dirt hill?
Right.
When Link can climb a huge freaking mountain.
You can literally do whatever you want in this game.
You can snowboard down a mountain
with your
on a shield.
Like, oh my gosh, this game is. I'm gonna go home and play it.
I kind of want to play it now too.
I'm gonna go home and play it.
But
I never actually beat the main story. I have like a.
What?
Okay,
there comes a point where you just need to just buckle down and you need to go to the tower,
I have
the castle.
Divine Beasts.
Only 2?
But I have like almost all the shrines done. I have so much stuff.
Dude,
I have almost maxed out stamina and hearts.
I was doing that for a while, and then as soon as I did one Divine Beast, I just had to do them all. And then once I did them all, the story was getting so good to where I'm like, I got to go to the castle. Oh my gosh.
Fighting a white mane Lionel.
Dude, going into that castle and just trying to get to Ganon was the coolest thing ever.
Oh, yeah. I will say that, though. That's literally, like, one of my only gripes about the game. Two minor gripes about the game. One is, like, everybody agreed on this. This is a lot of people's opinion of the negatives. I did not like Ganon's form in this game. I hated his form in this game. It was stupid. He's always this physical being in every game. Sometimes he's the form of a giant pig or like a giant pig man. That's like his beast form. But he was just like some crazy celestial thing in this game.
Towards the end, though, he does have a solid form.
He does have a solid form.
When you face him, yeah.
I've seen it, but it's still not like... I wanted to see, like, Ganon in full human form, like Ganon. But I digress. It was still, like, it's minor. Like, it was still phenomenal. And then the other thing that angers me a little bit is you can't dive in this game.
You can't what?
You can't dive underwater in this game.
Yeah, you can't, can you?
Nope. You had to think about it for
Oh my gosh.
You had to think about it for a
yeah.
second, didn't you? You can't.
Because I never wanted to try to.
Right. And I think it's kind of a cop-out. It's kind of a cop-out, but cool at the same time, how, like, you can't dive, but you at least have your magnesis power to find things in the water and grab them out of the water. But just let me dive underwater. Like, use... Like, I have stamina, and then give me, like, a little side breath wheel.
And then if you run out of stamina, you still just die.
Yeah. You've been able to dive in other games.
Man, that just did like a glass crack for me. I didn't even try to like.
You can dive in other games. You can dive in all the other Zeldas.
Yeah, you're right.
You can go up waterfalls with the Zora outfit in this game.
Which is really cool. Yeah, maybe they just kind of,
So
that kind of broke me there for a second.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I really had to think about that.
Right.
But yeah. So.
But yeah.
That was 2017 in a nutshell.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild. If this is what the Switch has in store for us, this console is amazing. Like, they released the console with Breath of the Wild back in March. Nintendo is killing it. Can't wait for E3.
I can't wait to see what this Pokemon game is going to be.
Yeah. So real quick, just like super brief, do you want to just, you want to run over some anticipated games coming out this year? Just a few.
Yeah.
To mention. I mean, like, what is it? In like a week and a half, I think it's 26. I'm really looking forward to Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World looks amazing,
That
and
game
it plays
looks
amazing.
awesome.
I played the open beta. It was pretty
I'm
cool.
waiting for this weekend. They're reopening it. I haven't been able to play it yet, but I'm gonna re-download it and play it this weekend.
Also, I'm excited for Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, I'm interested.
They released that story trailer, and it looked really good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, okay.
The open beta is coming out, I think, in a couple weeks, and it looks good.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Fighters. Fighters.
I've got too many fighting games.
But this is really
This does
cool.
look
The
really
beta's-
cool.
The beta's up
It's
right
Dragon
now,
Ball.
and it's super
Yeah.
fun. It's super fun.
I have the open beta.
Because they went back to 2D fighting, a 2D playing fighting game. It's really good, and it's 3-man teams.
No, really.
It's a freaking Dragon Ball Marvel vs. Capcom type game. It's really fun.
Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5, dude. I can't wait to play that game. That game needs to come out.
I was so sad that it got pushed back, but I understand, and I'm glad that Ubisoft pushed it back.
I'm glad they pushed it back. Like he said, the Pokemon game. I'm waiting for that Pokemon announcement for the Switch.
There's so many. Like, I don't want to go back into because this
They
could be
need
its
to
own.
show off that. They need to announce a Smash Bros. This year. Maybe a new Donkey Kong. I'm just anticipated for Nintendo this year.
I'm anticipated for some of the stuff Sony's doing.
And Sony.
Like, we got Spider-Man. We
Oh,
got
Spider-Man.
God
That
of
one
War.
looks really, really good.
We got Human Beyond
Detroit Become Human.
Become Human.
That trailer was sad and
Yeah,
great.
it was really good.
Can't wait to play that one.
That Last of Us not coming out this year. Sorry, guys, that think that. That's not coming out this
No.
year. But
Kingdom Hearts 3, please.
that's not coming out this year.
freaking come out this year.
That's not coming
At
out
least
this year.
give us a release date at E3.
No. No. It's Square. No, they're not going to do that.
Oh, they might give us a release date. Final Fantasy's been out for a while.
You know what? I'm going to. Okay. I'm making a bet right now. Okay. I think Death Stranding is coming out this year.
Do you? You think he's been in development of that game for like years?
Sony's made comments saying this is the fastest game they've seen develop.
Really?
And I guess it's in playable form already.
Really? Oh, I did hear they played it at PAX.
Yeah.
They had it playable at PAX, and everybody was like, "What is this game about?" I'm so intrigued and confused.
I mean, it's got Norman Reedus. He got a baby inside him.
And
It's
there's
really
some
weird.
mechanical things going on. It's weird.
And then there's like invisible people, like
my God.
invisible monsters that like there's like the little sensor thing, and it's like so.
Guillermo
But then
del
they say
Toro's
that
in
it's
the
not scary. They said it's not a horror game. It's an action but it's like it's gonna have elements of horror, obviously though,
Yeah,
right?
it has to.
It has to.
Sounds like
It
it's
seemed
me.
like it was going
It
that
has
way.
a creepy vibe.
Yeah.
Like, what are
Maybe
those
it's just a
three
thrill.
beings in the sky in every
Right?
trailer? Like, they're like the gods who have created this world or something. I don't
Like
know.
it's so weird.
Um,
But I have a feeling that's gonna either come out. Okay, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Honestly, I feel like that's gonna come out either the end of this year, like holiday season, or early next year.
early next year, holiday season. I would agree with you on that. I would agree.
Loving that Pocky, huh?
Pocky, man. Pocky are good. Don't ever
But-
feed me that fish crap again.
But yeah, I'm excited for what this year has in store.
Yeah,
There's
27
going to be a separate video that I want to do eventually,
Okay.
where I'm going to talk about Xbox and I want to see what they come back with, because they served it.
Yeah.
They served it, but now they got to pitch me something.
Yep, they got to deliver.
They have me intrigued. And they just got to do something,
Mm-hmm.
which they haven't.
Hopefully,
The one game I was excited for, they got rid of. So
Right. Hopefully Sea of Thieves
scale
is good.
bound. I feel like that's going to be another Evolve.
I feel like it's going to... I don't want to say I feel like it's going to fall flat on its face. I want it to be good.
I want it to be good because it looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be fun. A pirate game where you can just have a pirate boat and you can just go around like
I love
pirating. Exactly. It looks cool. Like it is an online game where everybody can be their own thing,
Ooh.
and you can like explore and treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Like-
That sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of pirates, Skull and Bones. I mean, it's different.
I was kind of disappointed with that because you're just literally the boat.
Yeah, the naval combat was awesome. in
It's
Yeah.
like,
Street.
well, yeah, it was just like, okay, it's made by the people that did the Black Flag game. I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
and then
it's
it's
gonna be
just like,
great. I gotta
oh,
finish
you're
that
literally
today.
just the boat. It's not, you can't just board another boat. It's just you're playing as the boat.
Yeah, I can
Let me
see where
see
that
this.
would be a little frustrating.
It would
I was
probably.
like, oh, really?
If it was like a $30 downloadable title, it'd probably be awesome.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 50. Like,
Yeah, well, I know.
and then it
it's gonna
seemed
be a
like it was
boring
all.
title.
It was going to be an online only game, though.
Okay, now it sucks. Never mind.
Isn't
moving on.
that what they said? Like, that's why I
I
got
don't
so
know.
disappointed when they
I
had
don't
that
know.
Ubisoft
I don't
E3
remember.
thing.
One game that I'm excited for, but I highly doubt it's not coming out this year. Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's not coming out this year.
During that announcement, they had a sign up to like give you feedback on that game because it wasn't even. They were showing tech stuff.
They wanted to say the game exists, basically, and they put together a CG trailer.
It was a CG trailer, and then it had like they were in the software where they were zooming out the world. Yeah, that game was not even close to being done.
Yeah.
What about
But-
Skate? You guys, I mean, I know we were talking about a lot of like creature-filled games, but you know,
Oh my God,
like Tony
yeah.
Hawk and all that stuff. Like Skate's
If
coming
they do
out, right?
Skate 4, I will poop myself.
They did an Xbox enhanced thing of Skate 3.
Bro.
It looks amazing.
Bro.
I'll have to show you here in a second.
Bro.
It
Well,
looks
yeah.
amazing.
Bro.
I don't know. I'm like,
Wasn't it in the last magazine of the games?
what was that game? Yeah,
I
you showed
don't.
me
I
that.
don't. I'm pretty sure it is Skate.
No,
though.
that's not
It's
Skate.
not Skate.
It's not Skate.
I don't know.
It's
My brother was
made by
gonna-
the people. No, it's not made by the people. It was inspired by the Skate games.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be just like.
It's gonna be
though.
like Skate, but
And
it's made by somebody
I
else.
loved absolutely. I love those games.
Yeah,
To be honest, I really
Skate.
did.
Skate was amazing.
And it's been
Skate
so
3
long
was
since I played
great.
it.
Like, and then they just said, okay. And then
Yeah.
like Tony Hawk tried to do its thing, and it was garbage.
Here's Tony Hawk.
Like, I was so excited. I'm like, cool. They're doing the pro skater. And we've had this conversation already.
We've had this conversation.
They're oh, cool. They're doing the pro skater name, and it's like, yeah, they're going back to the roots of Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
What is this game?
Yeah. What happened?
This game was awful. But I digress. And I guess screw this. I'm just gonna close it out here before I get super depressed. That has been it for Leviathan Gaming. Our 2017 HD Ultra Remix Beatdown Throwdown
Remastered.
Retro
Remix.
Remix.
Freaking awesome.
Ultra Remix.
Yeah.
Discussion of 2017 games. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe below. And until next time, you guys have a great one.
Peace out.
Bye.
All right.